Greetings. My name is Tarnas. My entire life, I've grown up around bees. My grandpa and dad are both dedicated beekeepers, and I've been visiting hives, getting to understand bees since I was 5. But in the last few years, I've gotten to see how important these animals I've known my entire life really are. In 2010, there was an influx of the small hive beetle. This beetle is a parasite designed to take down hives. It did not take long for the small hive beetle to spread and wreak havoc on the wild bees here in Hawaii. In less than a year, the wild bee population had been decimated. No one seemed to understand why, but I talked to people about how their trees in their backyards weren't producing even though they had been so plentiful in the past. People were confused and worried, so when I told them about this parasite, they were shocked. I soon found that most people understood pollinators and their purpose, but not their true significance. Business owners, on the other hand, understood, and that's when they started to contact my dad. Orchard owners, who through years of experience understood the real importance of pollinators, were quick to act. They called my dad, anxious to get bees on the land, and as I quietly observed, I realized that these creatures I had grown up around were more than just honey producers. That is why I want to talk to you about what I learned at the age of 10. We cannot survive without honeybees. Our economy, our food sources, and the beauty we see in nature is hugely and amazingly impacted by honeybees. The main issue bees have at the moment are monocultures, pesticides, and parasitic bugs. The one I have seen firsthand is parasitic bugs. The main threat at the moment is the Athena, which is also known as the small hive beetle, the one that I saw growing up. This parasite causes hives to collapse. They enter hives as adults and cause huge damages to the brood, pollen, and honey stores. Monocultures are also a huge issue for bees. A monoculture is a plot of land that only has one type of crop grown on it. Bees are often trucked over to these monoculture farms during the flowering season and then quickly moved away. This is terrible for bees because it stresses them and doesn't give them enough nutrients. This makes them more susceptible to parasites and diseases, and as a result of this system of monocultures and movement, we're losing 30% of our domestic bee colonies each year. Another result of big farms is a lack of diversity. With a lack of diversity tends to be pesticides. It is obvious why pesticides are bad for bees. Airborne poisons surrounding the work environment of such small creatures has the obvious effects. There are many different types of pesticides, and each affects bees differently. There are slow killers, fast killers, and some even affect the brains of the bees. This can mean that bees do not learn as well, or they won't remember directions to flowers and get lost along the way. No matter what the pesticide does, it makes the job of these bees difficult or even impossible. The importance of honeybees in human agriculture and the overall environment is paramount. Honeybees are hugely underappreciated. They directly pollinate around a third of everything we eat. Indirectly, they affect much, much more. Losing bees would not only mean losing flowering crops like apples and strawberries, but also much of the beef and dairy industry, because it is largely supported by alfalfa, which is pollinated by bees. This means the worldwide food supply would plummet, and there is no way we could sustain the 7 billions of people we currently have on this earth. One of the main biases people have with honeybees is the fear of being stung. This fear stems from an ignorance about bees and their hives. Bees are not aggressors. They attack in self-defense and to defend their hive. The main issue is that people panic and act in ways that threaten bees when they see them. Despite what you may think, shouting and trying to hit something doesn't exactly have the calming effect. The good thing is that we can do something about this. If each person can make small contributions, we can save bees and give them a chance to revive themselves. One of the best things any individual can do is to keep a hive at their house. This may not be the best option for everyone, though, because bees, like any pet, need attention and space. If you can't keep a hive at your house, then the next best thing you can do is buy locally and knowledgeably. You have power as a consumer. Try to buy from farms that that have diverse crops and don't use pesticides. The easiest way to do this is to buy locally, especially at a farmer's market. You can also mirror the change you want to see in these farms. That means making gardens with variety and avoiding pesticide use. The most important thing you can do, of course, is to carry the message. Not everyone is conscious that there is an issue and that there are solutions. Just talk to people, and you can make a huge change in the world around you. Overall, bees are a crucial part of our ecosystem, economy, and really every part of life. Without them, it is unlikely that we could survive. And that is why bees are so crucial. If we are unable to make changes in our lives, then there won't be any change in the world, and bee populations will continue to dwindle. So I urge you to go out and make a change, however small, to your own life, and we can save our favorite pollinators. Thank you.